What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. It's been a couple weeks, but we are back ready for some more Wise 5 picks, some more MLB streams. I got some NBA coming up also. Looking forward to getting back on the grind. What's up, Jake? What's up, Larry? Glad to see you guys here. Everyone else, hello as well. Let us know if there's any technical issues with anything. I think everything should be good. But there have been some changes. Obviously, I am in a different location. I have moved. That was the reason for one of the weeks that we missed. Still working on decorating. Obviously, got some blank walls up behind me. If anybody has any decorating suggestions, feel free to let me know in the chat.
Any painters out there?
Any painters in the chat? Ben then went to Puerto Rico the week after I moved, and he did some pretty exciting stuff as well. Right, Ben?
Yeah. If you want to talk about electric, I proposed to my girlfriend on the beach.
Yeah, so Ben is engaged now. That's pretty wild.
It is pretty crazy. You know, I hope nothing changes with the quality of my picks, but it is the real life gamble. You know.
Yeah, that is the IRL gamble.
I wanted to make a joke on my Instagram post to say like over under 20 and a half years, but I don't think Charlotte would have found that funny.
No, I don't think that's a.
And then these random people are like, "Oh, under." I'm like, "Who? Wait, who the fuck are you?"
Over under for life. No, yeah.
So that's why I didn't do it. Because then I would actually get butthurt. Like, especially I'm like, "Hey, who's this?" You know. So, anyways.
But yeah, that's exciting. So we both have some exciting news. I think Ben's is a little bit more exciting than mine.
I mean,
we're not here to compare the size of our exciting news.
Changes. I'm excited to check out your place too. So.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. If anybody's in Denver, I'm in downtown Denver now. Anybody wants to go grab a beer or something, let me know. Hit me up on Discord. Always down. Housing market's tough. Yeah, I have moved. Fun fact: I was living with my parents for a while there. Moved out of that and now have an apartment downtown. So that's fun.
Housing market is.
Yeah, Ben's life is over. Mine is just beginning. Exactly. Exactly.
Funny. You're right.
So,
Inglewood's cool.
Are you ready? Anybody else got any exciting news? Yeah, Snook moving to Englewood. That's exciting. If anybody else has any fun news, let us know. It seems like it's the season for good news.
It really
but
does.
Yeah, let's hop into some picks. So, sitting before the hiatus, 84, 74, and 7, up about 11 units on the stream. So I'm pretty happy with that. Hoping, though, that we can keep tacking on more wins and losses, keep tacking on some units onto that record. So let's hop into it with the money line play. So our money line, wise pick of the day. This is a pick that we both kind of liked just looking at it, and that our model also really likes. It's going to be the St. Louis Cardinals at minus 152 today against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So first, let's find this line. Here we go. Minus 152 for the Cardinals up on Superbook. And let's take a look at our dashboard. That's the wrong transition, but that's okay. I tried to set up some transitions. I don't know why that happened. But here we go. On our dashboard, you can see that we have the St. Louis Cardinals, from the model's perspective, favored by a run and a half. Cars have been beating me up. I'm assuming you mean cards. If cars are beating you up, you're probably in the hospital or something.
Yeah, we said good news.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Cardinals are a bit of a tough team right now. So Carlos Martinez on the mound today, going up against Caleb Smith for the Diamondbacks. But Carlos Martinez is a guy who's been kind of up and down this year. But I'm expecting an up today. He had his worst start of the year last time out. He walked 7 batters. But this Diamondbacks team is not a team that is very patient. Is not a team that's really doing much of anything offensively. So I think that this is a nice bounce back spot for Carlos Martinez.
Agreed, Nick. And from the other side, offensively, the Cardinals have two guys in particular that I think are going to succeed against a lefty today, and that's Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt. Both of them have really good splits against lefties in their careers. Nolan's batting around 318, Goldschmidt 316, and both these guys this season have been underperforming, I would say. So I think that it's always a good spot when you get a good split like this for two guys who can, hit for power. So I really like them, at least one of them, to have a good game, potentially a home run from one of those two guys. So I like the matchup from that side of the plate. And yeah, I think Martinez can get the job done. And I think this is a solid play at minus 152.
Yeah, totally agree. So this is also right in the sweet spot that we like to see from our model. So this spread, Cardinals minus 1.54 runs. If we see a favorite that the model likes by between 1.5 and 2 runs, those teams are 26-3 straight up. So we're not seeing really any losses from teams that the model likes as much. Of course, Carlos Martinez, bit of a risk in the fact that he can have an off game. He can be a little wild, but I think that he'll have, again, like I said, some success against the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks' inept offense. Cardinals will score enough runs to take this one home.
Yeah, not only do the Diamondbacks suck on the road, they suck. They suck no matter where they're playing, but they are 10-34 away. So yeah,
that they are. Not looking good.
And the Rockies 6-31. It's just funny. I throw that out there. I saw them right above the Diamondbacks there.
Yeah, so you ready to move on to the next pick that we have, our game total pick?
Yep.
All right. So our game total is going to be one that people were looking at this game yesterday and questioning some managerial decisions. But we're gonna go back there again. We're gonna go Kansas City, Boston over 10.5 runs at minus 115. So Garrett Richards yesterday on the mound for Boston, they just left him out to dry. People were calling for him to get pulled, and they just wouldn't do it. Royals kept hitting him. Today, it's Nick Pivetta on the mound for Boston, and it's Brad Keller on the mound for Kansas City. So yesterday, it was kind of clowning on the Red Sox pitcher, but today, it's the other way around. It's going to be the Royals pitcher that we're really expecting to get beat up here. So Brad Keller has been bad. He's been really bad. His ERA this year is 6.39 in 16 starts. His WHIP is 1.8. That's almost 2 base runners for every inning that he pitches. And against this Boston team, with the kind of power that they have in the middle of their lineup, if you have runners on, you're gonna get scored on quite a bit. Keller,
unless you're Ohtani.
Unless you're Ohtani, yeah.
But Brad Keller is not Ohtani.
No, Brad Keller is not Ohtani.
On a scale of Brad Keller to Ohtani, how good a pitcher are you?
Probably Brad Keller. If we're being honest. Yeah. I'm much closer to Keller on that scale.
Yeah.
I probably don't belong on that scale at all, but that's a different story.
It is.
So Keller has given up at least 4 earned runs in each of his last 4 starts, including 5 in 5 innings against Boston just 2 starts ago. So Keller is good to give up 5 kind of on his own in 5 innings. Team total for Boston here is at 6.5, by the way. This is something that we were looking at, but it feels kind of crazy to hop on a team total of over 6.5.
Especially if it's not in Coors Field.
Mm-hmm. But that kind of just shows you how bad Keller is. On the flip side, though, Nick Pivetta, he's been a very consistent pitcher. He's not a great pitcher, but he's not a terrible pitcher. He's given up. He's made 15 starts this year. He's given up between 2 and 4 earned runs in 11 of those 15 starts. So if Keller gives up 5, Pivetta gives up 3, that gives us 8, and then we need 3 from the bullpens in 4 innings of work. I think that's quite reasonable, and I think that especially Keller is liable to really implode and give up more than his fair share. And if we get into an uneven game, we're probably going to see some worse relievers as well. More likely for some runs from the bullpen. So I like this one quite a bit.
I think this makes a lot of sense with what you said about Pivetta, because his floor is probably 2-3 runs. So if he can give up that, I'm feeling pretty good about this hitting.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a look at our betting dashboard to see exactly what the model says about this play. As you can tell, it likes Boston quite a bit here. We don't like the money line at minus 220. Run line potential play here. We don't have it up as an official play, but it is a spot to look at. But you can see, so the total 10.5, model has this one at 12.18, so over by more than a run and a half, which is quite a bit. And with Boston's team total sitting at 7.63 runs, a lot of that is coming from them. I think Kansas City's team total today is at 4.5, so I think that's pretty spot on from the model perspective. It's really Boston that we're expecting to see doing a lot of the extra damage here. And like we said, with Keller on the mound, that's something that we should definitely be seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything about this total that you want to add on, Ben?
No, I think that's about it. I think it makes a lot of sense, and again, that team total could be a possibility too. But I think the Royals can get theirs.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that we don't need Boston to go for 7, 8, 9 runs.
Yeah.
If Kansas City gets their 4 or their 5.
Mm-hmm.
So we do actually have a second pick from this game, which I'm gonna go to that next, if you're cool with that.
Yeah, I think we should hop into that one.
So our player prop is coming from this game as well. We're gonna have Nick Pivetta pitching for Boston over 5.5 strikeouts, coming in at minus 120. So something that I really like to see. Superbook finally has player props up. And the thing that I like about that so much is that Superbook always has the best numbers that you can get on stuff. Actually, this has moved a little bit. This was minus 120 here earlier. Seeing minus 126 now. That's fine. We were ready to lock it in at minus 135.
Mm-hmm. But get on it sooner than later, because it's
yeah. I mean, I think it should probably stagnate at minus 135. I would guess.
Also, Nick, I wouldn't be shocked if later in the day if it jumps to 6.5.
Yeah, you could see like an over 6.5 plus 130, 135 type deal, with the under probably being like minus 160. If I had to guess where that would be, but I think this 5.5 number is what makes it a no-brainer. So Pivetta has gone over this number in 8 straight starts. So that's kind of crazy. So we've seen an 8 last time out against Kansas City, 6 against Tampa. Sorry, 6 against Kansas City in his second most recent start. 6 against Toronto, 6 against Miami, 9 against Houston, the team that strikes out the least in the league, 9 against Atlanta, 8 against Toronto, 7 against LA. So that's his last 8 starts. So he's literally 8 for 8 in that time frame, going over this number.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see all that much reason why we should be getting such a good price on this over 5.5 here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Agreed. I like this one. It's this is one of those plays that you just have to go in game by game, and you can find good spots like this.
Yeah, and I don't see really any conflict of interest. Also, so it seems potentially a little weird that we have a pitcher strikeout prop over and a game total over. You would tend to think, if you like the pitcher to be striking people out, you probably don't like runs from the team that they're going against, but I don't think that there's a huge problem here. Like we were saying earlier, Pavetta's been very consistent, 2, 3, 4 earned across pretty much every start this year, and then consistently above this number at the same time. So I think
Yeah, and
there's no issue there.
I think it would be more concerning if it was Keller in the spot, if we like to strike out prop. But regardless, I mean, if the number's right, that at the end of the day, and we discussed this many times during the NFL season, where you can like a full game over and still like an under for a quarterback because you're dialing in on one player. So it happens quite a bit. So
yeah, so that is our player prop for today. Let's cycle back now to the team total. So our team total, wise pick of the day, is going to be the San Diego Padres over 5.5 runs today against Tony Santillan and the Cincinnati Reds. So Ben, you want to start us off?
Yeah, this is one of those that we don't want to overcomplicate it, and I think the Padres are in a good position to put up a lot of runs. Santillan is a guy who has struggled, and we like the spot here. Hitters Park, Great American Ballpark, and yeah, I for me, that's what I have, and I think that's enough for me to fire this one up. I also like, we're getting plus money too, so.
Yeah, so you can actually, I just saw this has moved down to over 5 minus 131 on PointsBet, but I'm kind of feeling like sticking with this 5.5. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think we should stick with it. Also, the last thing that I wanted to point out is the bullpen too for the Reds.
Oh yeah. I was about to touch on that
in this one too. So no, so I'm happy sticking with the 5.5, but you can touch on their bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, so the Reds bullpen, for anybody who has been paying attention to baseball at all, the Reds bullpen is just terrible. It's awful. They give up so many runs. Let me pull up some exact stats here. So in the month of June, the Cincinnati Reds have it's gone down. ERA only 6.06 in the month of June. There was a time span maybe mid-May to mid-June or early May to early June where the ERA was almost 9 for the Reds bullpen. So they're giving up runs left and right and center, everywhere. Also, Santillan is not a guy who's going deep. He's made 3 starts this year, first 3 starts of his career. 4.2 innings, 3 innings, and then 6 innings last time out against Atlanta. But I think that one's more the outlier. I think that we should be expecting between 4 and 5 innings from Santillan today, especially if he gets beat up a little bit. And then that gives us several innings of Reds bullpen to deal with. Also, it's a really hot day in Cincinnati today. Ball should be flying.
Yeah. Humidity's high. The bullpen, yeah, like you said, might get 5 innings. So,
And real quick, we can take a peek at what the model says for this game. So as you can see, San Diego's team total 6.27. So we like the odds of them getting 6. You could, if you have it available, you could take the over 5. So you can get that push at 5. But we think that 6 is pretty likely, and probably even more, I would think.
yeah.
All right. So last but not least, we have our Nerfy wise play of the day. And this is one that probably shouldn't be too much of a surprise to anybody who follows along with our Nerfies. But we're going to go back to, I feel like, the team that we have all the time in our Nerfies, the Miami Marlins and the Philadelphia Phillies today. No run, first inning at minus 110. And naturally, Superbook has changed their layout a little bit. So I had to do that, had to scroll over. But here we go, first inning, and this has actually gotten even better. We're looking at minus 105 now for this Nerfy. Nice. Plus 108 on DraftKings. Let's go. I love that. Thank you, Snuff.
That too.
Getting this at plus money is robbery. It really is.
Man, I love that at plus money. Yeah,
that's wild.
Really good Nerfy pitchers here.
Yeah,
Velasquez, you said, Nick, off air. He's number one.
Of everybody pitching today who has made more than 5 starts, Velasquez is the best first inning guy. He's better than Charlie Morton, better than Walker Buehler, better than Robbie Ray, better than Brandon Woodruff, better than everybody. So Velasquez this year in the first inning made 11 starts, 0.82 ERA. So he's given up 1 solo home run, and that's the only runs he's allowed in the first inning all year. In those 11 innings, only 4 hits, only 2 walks. So he's not giving up bombs. He's not giving up traffic. What's not to like? Mm-hmm. And on the flip side, on the other side, Trevor Rogers also been great in the first inning this year. He's made 15 starts, so 15 first innings pitched, 2.4 ERA. He's given up some more base runners. So he's given up 11 hits and 8 walks. So we're looking at a little bit over a base runner per inning. But he's not given up a single extra base hit. Actually, that's a lie. He's given up 4 doubles, but no home runs. I was looking at the wrong guy. So we're not seeing a lot of power against Rogers. He's given up 4 earned runs overall in first innings this year. But in 15 starts, that's fine. We can deal with something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nick, I do believe it was probably 2-3 weeks ago, the Marlins were the worst batting team in the first inning too, as well.
I believe so. Yeah, let me actually look at how teams are hitting in the first inning this year.
that's even if they're not dead last, they're still going to be near the bottom. So definitely like that too as well for this one.
Yeah. So in the month of June, the Marlins are hitting 237 in first innings this year. Only 2 home runs. Only 12 runs scored for the Marlins in first innings this year in the month of June. So there's been 28 days.
That's good.
On the Phillies side of things, they, in the month of June, in the first innings, I have to find them, are hitting 247, only scored 9 runs in first innings this month. And they've also only hit 2 home runs. So we're seeing 2 fairly inept offenses in the first inning, 2 really solid first inning pitchers. Getting this at plus money feels weird, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like Larry, almost sketching me out a little bit.
I think Larry made a good point, though. And it's why it's plus money, because their last 3 games, they've scored in the first inning or had a game. At least the Marlins have. Actually, 4 straight. So I think naturally what people do is they look at this and they say, well, they've scored in the first inning the last few games. So I think that's driving this number down a little bit. But I think if you look at, eliminate that recency and just kind of look at a larger scale and a sample size with their month of June and then the 2 pitchers, totally fine with this one.
Yep. I agree. What 0.36 first inning on the season? What is
0.36 for?
What
is that just an average?
Oh, is that like runs per first inning? I'm assuming that's what that is.
But that has to be near the bottom of all teams.
Oh yeah, no, that's terrible. I mean, so in the first inning on the whole season, the Marlins have scored 28 runs, which is the lowest of anybody.
Yeah.
Phillies have
Yeah,
scored 44, which
you would
is
assume.
right dead middle of the pack.
Oh, what's in the middle?
Phillies on the season, but they've been worse recently.
So that's probably what, like 0.5, 0.6 is middle.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a reference because
Yeah.
that number to me doesn't mean a lot. You
So
know?
in the month of June, Phillies have scored the least runs in the first inning, 9 runs in the month of June, and Marlins are tied for 24th
Nice.
at 12.
Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, it's almost sketching me out. Like I said, that this is plus money. Like, is there something going on aside from, like, I don't even think that the recent performances should push this up that much.
Is my guess. I hope that's the reason. If not,
Yeah.
but I mean, what else would there really be? You know,
Yeah, I mean, sticky stuff concerns or something.
I guess.
But Velasquez hasn't really been all that different. Rogers is still looking great.
Yeah. So I think we'll be okay.
Yep, I think we're good too.
Fun.
So, yep, that wraps up the Wise 5 picks. Again, we have Cardinals money line at minus 152. 2 picks from the Royals Red Sox game today. The over 10.5 at minus 115, and Nick Pivetta over 5.5 strikeouts at minus 120. We have the Padres team total over 5.5 at plus 100, and no run first inning Marlins Phillies plus 108. Let's talk about some basketball.
Yeah.
So I know you had several picks that you posted in our subs Discord. I don't know how many you want to go over for tonight's game. But let's see. Let me pull up NBA odds
2. Yeah, I think there were 2 that you liked.
that I
At
liked.
least.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
What did I like?
Oh, I thought you said a comment about like, oh yeah, I like that.
I was saying that the formatting was confusing. It seemed like the 2 picks were switched.
Thought you were saying on top of that there was.
Oh no, I don't like the NBA. I wasn't looking at
No,
anything.
Let's give out the Drew Holiday under assists.
All right. So
Double
where?
what the numbers at?
Let's see here. We got player props.
There was some crazy movement on some of these props from. I actually got up early and was looking at these, and I think it had a lot to do with Trae Young because he's questionable. I think he'll play. But did you see how he sprained his ankle, Nick?
Yeah, he got reffed.
Yeah, he got reffed. He did.
See, it like somebody pressed the Buffalo Wild Wings button,
Yeah,
and that's exactly what happened.
The referee had that weird, like, guilty face on his, or guilty look on his face where he was like,
Wasn't me.
yeah, it's like, yeah, we have 20 cameras on you, buddy.
Oh, did you see yesterday? So another thing that was crazy, man. The Diamondbacks Cardinals game. Sorry to break subject here. Who was it? Yadier Molina hit a ground ball down the third base line. It was fair, but the ball boy, who is like a ball old man, just fielded the ground ball, despite it being fair. And then the umpire was like, "The hell are you doing?" And then he just went with the ball still in his glove and just sat back in his chair with everybody in the whole stadium staring at him. I felt kind of bad for him because that's got to be so embarrassing. But
you know what would have been hilarious,
time,
Nick? If the ump was like, "You're out of here," and he like ejected him.
Can you do that? Can you eject the ball old man?
I think you could get the security on him.
That would be a
replacement. Need a replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's unfortunate.
That was interesting.
Okay.
I'd never seen that before.
I've seen it one time. It was a girl actually. It was like several years back, and she felt so bad. Like she had that look of like, "Oh God, I'm in trouble."
Yeah, and you just have to keep sitting there because you're still working.
Yeah,
Just got tens of thousands of people staring at you.
yeah.
Don't fuck up again.
That's. I have to go. I'll have to go watch that. But anyways,
Yeah, so we have Drew
was
Holiday. Under
Eight
eight
and
and
a
a
half.
half, minus 148 on DraftKings.
So it is juiced. I think if you can get it under 150, it's fine. But anything past that, it's kind of pushing it. And my big thing for this one is last game, Drew Holiday, I think, had 11 assists, I believe. Let me pull it up. But he had probably his worst shooting performance of the playoffs. He started cold. He was 0 for 3 from deep, and he got very passive. He was just trying to dish the ball out. So I don't expect him to do that again today. He had 6 points. He's coming off 20, 22, 33, 13, 21. 21. So he's good for at least 10, 12, and I think he's going to be fine today. I was considering playing the over points for him, but I like this one better. I don't think he's going to have over 6 or 7 in this one, so I think this is a good play.
So do you like under 7.5 at plus 114?
Yes.
Do you like that more or less?
I like it less. A tad less.
Okay, because I see that's where it is at on Superbook, and PointsBet has under 7.5 at plus 110.
Yeah, I think I'm fine with either. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Who's going to win the game?
It's a great question.
I guess Milwaukee's favored, especially if Trae Young's going to be out or
Yeah,
limited.
I think they're favored by 7. So that makes me think the books don't think Trae Young is that healthy. If Trae Young doesn't play, that number would probably shoot up to 9. No Trae Young. So I think at 7, maybe it's a little bit of a hedge by the books to say, like, well, how effective is he going to be? But I do expect him to play. So
yeah, I'd be surprised if he doesn't play, unless he's like actually really seriously hurt.
Yeah,
which it doesn't sound like.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay to play, but hopefully he's not just limping, struggling out there like we saw with like Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
I know that was different with like a muscle, but then he just re-aggravated it. So, but I think a sprained ankle and a bone bruise is, if it's just somewhat severe, you can play through it more than you can like the muscle, because then it's just one tear or one strain and you're back to where you were. So we'll see what happens. So I'm not touching anything as far as the total goes or the sides. So
yeah, a lot of uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else today?
No, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I'm good too. I got nothing else. Thank you all, as always, for being here. Thanks for staying patient during the 2 weeks that we were gone. But we're back. The regular schedule is fully back. Looking forward also to football season. Man, oh man, are we going to be on the Twitch grind for football season?
We're definitely in the dog days of summer right now.
Yeah. So for the first month or so of football season, we have Tale of MLB. Not planning on changing up anything about the baseball stream schedule, even with NFL and college football. But we're starting to plan out NFL stream schedule as well, and potentially like 4 or 5 streams a week for football. So we're gonna be doing some 2-a-days. You can probably be looking forward to 9-10 streams a week.
Yes, there will be plenty of content, plenty of streams, plenty of picks, and Nick, 60 days away till the opening college football game.
Feels good.
So it's coming quick, but I'm excited. College football in the first 2 weeks, definitely you can find some really good value if you do your research on returning players and such. I've personally done very well in like the first 2 weeks of the college football season. So actually, last year was a little weird just because of all the COVID stuff. So kind of throw that out the door. But years prior, yeah. If you can just you don't need to know every returning starter and all that kind of stuff, but you can definitely find some really good value for the first 2 weeks of college football. So
Yeah. So that wraps up today's stream. Thank you again, as always, for being here. Check us out in the Discord. I'm sure everybody who's still here is already in the Discord, but if you are not, there's the link. And we will see you all same time, same place tomorrow. Good luck, as always.